Samanta cakkavalesu atra gaccantu devata Sandhammang munirajassa sunantu sagga mokkadang Dhamma savana kalo ayan bhadanta Dhamma savana kalo ayan bhadanta Dhamma savana kalo ayan bhadanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, all of you are warmly welcome. Nice to meet you. Today I am going to explain you the very important doctrines in Buddhism. Actually, already we have explained a lot of things in Buddhism. Today, the special thing is that we are going to explain all things that already we have studied here, that already we have learned here. I am going to summarize all things. Now, Mr. Eric, you are so lucky. I prepared a handout too. First of all, I would like to give you it. Share it. And don't worry, learn by heart all of things in one day. I think if you bring that note every day that you come here, that is very important. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. When you come here any day, please try to bring it. That is very important. If we explain something as Buddhism, anytime, anywhere, actually all those teachings can be included in these doctrines. That is why this is very important. First of all, I would like to explain the very important thing. As the listeners, especially when we are going to study, when we are going to learn the doctrines in Buddhism, according to Buddhism, we have to follow the 3 steps. Those steps are not on your handout, but here I would like to explain it because it is very important. That first thing is knowledge. Knowledge is wealth. According to current society, knowledge is wealth. If you have good knowledge, if you have a lot of knowledge, it means you are rich. But according to Buddhism, it is same. That here knowledge means not only about the world, but we should know especially what is the karmic force, and also impermanence. Those 2 things we learn as knowledge. Not only that, but these things also included to knowledge. The first thing is very important. If we have no knowledge, we have no idea where we are going to, what we practice. That is why, first of all, we should know what is the map that we practice. Until the final bliss of liberation, that Nibbana, we should have good knowledge. What steps that we follow, that we overcome, that we go on. That is why first thing is we should have good knowledge what Buddhism is, what Buddha says. We should have clear knowledge. according to early Buddhism. Mr. Eric, I think you have already listened a lot of things as Buddhism. About Tibet Buddhism, you have learned, you have studied a lot of things. Now here especially actually we are going to explain the Buddha's real message as early Buddhism. The second, that is first thing. The second thing is reflection or reflecting. Reflecting or investigating. We should have not only knowledge, according to this clear knowledge, that again and again we should reflect it in our day-to-day life. We can see there are a lot of people in the world, they have knowledge. There are some professors in Buddhism, but they do it only as their job. But here, as a person who wishes to get the result, practice in Buddhism, we should have not only knowledge, but according to that knowledge, again and again we have to reflect it. We have to investigate it through our life. Through our life means through our mind, through our physical body. That is very important. We reflect Buddha's message through our physical body and through our mind. What happened to our body and mind? That is very important. Next one is you can guess. Miss Palm, can you guess what is the next one, third one?
Meditation.
Very good, very good. You got it. Meditation. And good student. I am so happy. Then, actually, this is the summary. As sometimes we can say this is the summary. First, we should have knowledge and reflecting and meditation. That is very important. This one is very important. If we have no knowledge, we have nothing to reflect. If we have no knowledge, we have nothing to meditate, according to Buddhism. Therefore, first of all, we should have good knowledge from beginning to end. Not only some sort of kind. We should have clear knowledge from beginning to end. How we started, what is the final result, what is the ultimate result. We should have good vision about the Buddhism. About Buddhism means about our life. Actually, we say that this is the Buddha's message. Actually, although we say that this is Buddha's message, because he discovered this one, we say that Buddha's message. But whether Buddha appeared or not in the world, this reality is ever. We respect the Buddha because he discovered and he preached this world to the world. That is why we respect him. But this truth doesn't belong to the Lord Buddha too. This doesn't belong to Buddha. We say this message as Buddha's message because he discovered himself and he preached this one to the world. That is why we say that the Buddha's message. But Buddha says very clearly whether a Buddha appeared or not in the world, this reality is ever. The thing is, if there is no Buddha in the world, nobody can understand himself. That is why some Buddhas appeared from period to period. Not only same Buddha, but various Buddhas appeared again and again in the world. And next one is the reflect. Again and again, according to our knowledge, when we do our day-to-day activities. If we can reflect this one, when we drive, when we work, when we study, when we do some activities at home, any time, if we have mindfulness, we can reflect it. And also meditation. Meditation can be divided into two. and concentration meditation and insight meditation. Concentration meditation means samatha meditation. Focus our mind particular object for a long time. It means samatha meditation. And with the concentrated mind, we reflect about the world as it is, as impermanence. It includes to vipassana meditation or insight meditation. Yeah, meditation can be divided into two. The first one is or samatha or concentration meditation. Samatha or concentration meditation. Next one is the insight meditation. Samatha. Buddha's language, samatha. And vipassana.
Which one is better?
Both of them are important. The special thing is vipassana meditation. You know, there are some periods where the Lord Buddhas are not in the world. But at that time, we can see the samatha meditation. But we can see vipassana meditation in only Buddha's period. That is the unique, that is the special thing in Buddhism. You know, before the Lord Buddha appeared in the world, there were some persons who cultivated their mind in the maximum level according to samatha. There were some persons who were in the world, they could go in the sky too, through practicing samatha meditation. But they had no experience about insight meditation. A special thing in Buddhism is the vipassana meditation or insight meditation. We will discuss it little by little. But here, now you have some sort of idea. What steps that we overcome, that we practice? Yes?
Okay.
Yes?
Okay. You said that the samatha concentration meditation is to reflect if you didn't finish up.
Please say again.
The samatha meditation,
Mm-hmm.
you were going to say something about reflection.
Yeah, actually here, especially in samatha meditation, we do focus our mind in a particular object, as loving kindness, as breathing meditation. The purpose of samatha meditation is focus our mind particular object for a long time. We don't reflect here in this step. We reflect the second step. With the concentrated mind, we reflect the things that we already learned, which is impermanence or anicca.
Like the Asubha Bhavana?
No, Asubha Bhavana also belongs to here.
Oh, okay.
All meditation, there are 40 techniques in meditation in Buddhism. 40 techniques. Loving kind meditation, breathing meditation, Asubha meditation, death reminded meditation. There are 40 techniques. All techniques include this step, samatha. Listen. With the concentrated mind, if we think again and again as impermanence, suffering, no soul, anicca dukkha anatma, that belongs to vipassana meditation. Reflecting the world as it is.
Oh, the reality.
Yeah, world reality. Before vipassana meditation, if we have samatha or concentration, it is very easy to reflect because always our mind goes here and there. With the boring mind, with the upset mind, it is difficult to reflect the world reality as it is. That is why, first of all, we focus our mind particular object as concentration meditation. Can you understand, Mr. Terry?
So reflecting on the things we learn through impermanence is the insight meditation.
Yeah. Reflecting includes here, but here also we can reflect in some sort of level. Here we are going to deep. That is the difference. Here also, actually when we listening something, here also we have some sort of reflecting. That is why there were some persons in the Buddha's period, when they were listening Buddha's message, they reflect while they were listening, not only reflecting, but they meditated while the Lord Buddha was preaching. All of three are together at some times if we have mindfulness. That is the very, very important thing. If you like to succeed in this path, you should have a very special quality, that sati or mindfulness. Sati, Buddha's language in Pali. In Pali, or in Pali, Buddha's language in Pali, it means sati. In English, mindfulness or awareness. If you have no mindfulness, you have no knowledge, you have no reflecting, you have no meditation. Mindfulness is the center of your success, that when you practice Buddha's message. If you have no mindfulness, all your knowledge is useless. That is why mindfulness is the very, very important thing. That is why we named mindfulness as our best friend. Mindfulness is the best friend.
Is it the awareness?
Yeah, awareness, attention, mindfulness, sati, satimat bhava.
Is it whatever thought comes to your mind, like be mindful of what you...
Actually, according to mindfulness, we reflect not only mind, but our physical body, all things that we look, that we hear, that we taste, that we smell, all things, every moment we are with attention, we are with mindfulness.
By that, do we get rid of our desires and all that kind of see, if you see something, oh, it's pretty and that's it, you don't have an attachment. So because you are mindfulness of it,
yeah.
How it is?
Yeah, actually we can see the beauty. It doesn't matter. When we look at the beauty, if we have real mindfulness, we have no desire, we have no attachment. We see the reality, we see the beauty in the world. But we have no desire, we have no anger because of mindfulness.
Because of the five senses control?
Yeah, five senses are controlled by using of mindfulness. Right. Control means, it means that if a person say that we don't look or we don't hear something, it is wrong. We see all things. Right. What we look at, then we hear. It doesn't matter. The thing is the awareness. If we have awareness, although we look at something, although we hear something, although we smell something, we don't have big attachment. We do our responsibilities. In the name of our children, in the name of our husband or wife, we do our responsibilities without attachment, without desire, without anger. That is the difference in that if we have mindfulness. Step by step we will discuss. Okay, you can get idea. Now this is a very short idea. Now you read, please, you recite. What is the first thing? Knowledge. What is the second thing? Reflecting. What is the next one? Meditation. Okay, what is the second one? Reflecting. What is the first one? Knowledge. What is the second one? Reflecting. What is the first one? Knowledge. What is the third one? Meditation. What is the first one? Knowledge. Second one? Reflecting. First one? Knowledge. Final one? Meditation. And to fulfill all things, which should you have? Mindfulness. Yeah. If you have no mindfulness, it is very difficult to fulfill all other things. When we discuss something, if we have no attention, no mindfulness, you can't catch it. because of no mindfulness.
Can you give an example of mindfulness?
Yeah. For example, actually mindfulness means that living in the present moment. Living in the present moment. We have some sort of idea. We are very sensitive with our mind. What happens to our mind? When we look at something, as soon as we look at something, if you have big attachment, it means we have no real understanding or we have no real mindfulness. If somebody has some mistake, if we are upset, it means we have no mindfulness. That is why we are worried. If we have real mindfulness, we have no sadness.
But it can be if somebody dies, like you cry. So if you don't cry, like you're not very emotional.
Actually, mindfulness can be divided into 4. Satara Satipatthana. 4 mindfulness, according to our physical body, according to feelings, according to mental formation, according to mind. We practice mindfulness into 4 ways, not only one way. It is the effort to understand mind and body. According to mindfulness, we are going to understand our mind and body. Mind means what happens to our mind. Body means not only physical body but also other material things. As soon as we look at something, if we have awareness, those things are made with 4 elements, 4 primary elements that are earth, fire, water, air. And there are a lot of things to study about that, but in short, if you can understand, mindfulness is attention, awareness, living in the present moment. We don't go to the future or past. We live in the present moment. We can think about our previous experience, but as soon as we listen, we remind, we think, we memorize our previous activities, we know that now I read my own mind. I am not going the real situation.
And being angry about something and dwell on it.
Yeah, we can remind something, but we don't worry about this situation. That is the difference. For example, when our mother or father died, somebody can cry. When he or she cries, he or she says that my father did these things, my father feeded me, my father helped me again and again. That person says that he or she goes to that real situation. There is another person of that person's son or daughter who enlightened. Then that person also remembered that experience. But as soon as that enlightenment person reminds that situation, he has understood that now I read my own mind, not about the real situation. Then he doesn't cry. Unknowing person, when unknowing person is crying, that enlightened person's remembering that situation, he doesn't cry. He knows very well, now I read my own mind. That is the difference. Memory is not the fault. The fault is not awareness, no mindfulness. If you have no mindfulness, it means we lost our happiness. It means we worry with that situation. We will discuss again and again. Now we have to discuss a lot of things. Actually, you can understand little by little. You can solve your problems gradually when you come again and again. Actually, it is difficult to complete all knowledge in one day. Right. It is difficult. I am sorry. But you ask questions. I encourage you to ask questions. But you have to take time. Little by little. Yeah.
What did you say again, to practice mindfulness in 4 ways?
Yeah, it is in your handout too. All things are in your handout. Okay, now I am going to explain all those doctrines in short? First of all, I don't go to explain. First, I am going to explain very in short. Later, again and again, we will analyze it. Okay? First thing is as the listeners, we should understand what the triple gem is. That is very important. When we practice this knowledge, we should have some sort of confidence about this message. If we have no confidence, you have nothing to practice. Actually, some persons say that confidence is not good. But actually, in our life, mostly we practice a confidence. For example, how do you believe your birth certificate? How do you believe in your birth certificate? Your mother, your father, your birthday. How do you believe it? Did you research it? Did you do a research, DNA research about your parents? We never did. We believe it. We have confidence. When you go to a doctor, you check his certificate, medical certificate. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you do. I know. We check it. But only we see that certificate. Yeah. When we look at certificate, you have confidence. You don't go to the university to check it. When a doctor says that you have to remove your clothes, you are ready to do it. You have confidence about that person. That is why you are there. For that situation, if we have some sort of confidence, actually this is the spiritual path. When you practice this path, first of all, you should have some sort of belief or confidence. But after you will receive the experience, it is not necessary to keep confidence further. You remove the confidence, then you have experience, your own experience. Until you get the experience, you should have some sort of confidence or belief. That is the nature of this path. But the special thing that when we practice Buddha's message, we can see the results as much as we practice. That is very important thing. This is the path that can get the visible results. That is very important thing. All things that you do in your day-to-day life, when you get some sort of experience or result, you will explain a lot of years. For example, when you get a certificate or degree, you have expended a lot of years. At sometimes more than 15 or 16 years you have to spend when you get a degree. But the special thing that Buddha explained, when we try to practice this message in our day-to-day life, we can see the immediate results. That is the very, very important thing. Very, very important thing. Here, I am going to explain at the very beginning the triple gem. The triple gem means the first one is Buddha, second one is his teaching, and next one is the Buddha's noble disciples. First one, Buddha means not only Buddha's physical body, but Buddha's enlightenment. You should have some sort of confidence about your Buddha's enlightenment. Not only about his physical body or his parents or his birthplace. It doesn't need. But a special thing that we should have the confidence of that he has enlightened. We believe in his enlightenment. That is the thing that we believe in as first in the Buddha. Especially the Lord Buddha, when he died, he told very clearly, you never think that this message is the doctrine of a dead person. As much as you practice this message, you have to think that the teacher is living. if you practice this one, if you can see the result practicing this message, you can see the teacher, you can see the Buddha, even though he passed away.
It's funny that you say that because I never gave that any thought, but since you said it, I never thought of Buddha as being dead. His message is alive. Right?
Yeah. Even though message in the world, actually it is not useful. The main thing is that we have to practice it in our life. Buddha is alive. If we practice it in our life, if we don't practice in our life, actually Buddha is like that. We can be alive, the Buddha, when we practice it. That is the very important thing. Especially he says that if you practice dependent origination or cause and effect, then you can see the Buddha's message. If you can see the Buddha's message, you can see the Buddha. The main thing is the seeing the dependent origination or cause and effect or impermanence.
And Buddha came to this world to give us the knowledge. So that's why he wants us to follow that. Right?
Yeah,
especially he could have been liberated without being a Buddha.
Yeah, actually, especially he tried to explain the cause and effect or dependent origination. That is a very important thing. If he was not born in the world, we have no chance to listen in that message. The special thing in Buddhism, the special thing is the dependent origination. Until we understand the dependent origination, we don't know who the real Buddha is. Until we understand what the dependent origination is, we don't know the real Buddha. Impermanence means it's the very, very important thing. We will describe it. The second thing is I don't know my answer is enough for you. Okay. The Dhamma means the Buddha's message, the second one, Buddha's message. Now actually at some times it is very difficult to understand the Buddha's real message. We have a lot of traditions in the world. The Chinese tradition, Japanese tradition, Tibetan traditions. There are many traditions as Buddhists. That is why very difficult to understand the Buddha's real message. But we should be clever, we should be intelligent to understand what the Buddha's real message is.
So, Bante, you are Sri Lankan monk. You are teaching a Buddhist message.
Yeah.
There's Chinese Buddhism, there's all different nationalities practicing Buddhism. Are they practicing the same Buddha? Buddha is Buddha regardless?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, all of them believe that their tradition is true.
Okay.
I believe that my tradition is true, and Chinese people believe that their tradition is true, and Tibetan persons believe that their tradition is true. All people believe that their tradition is true. On the other hand, all of them believe in the same Buddha and same doctrines. But you know, last days it was a very special ceremony in Dhammagaru meditation center near Glen Arcadia or Glendale near Sai Center. It was a big ceremony celebrating Buddha's birthday. But all of them celebrate Buddha's message in the same way. All of them are together. They respect the same Buddha. They respected the same Buddha's message. The special thing is they celebrate the very special word, Vesak. Yeah, Vesak. Vesak means the word came from Sri Lanka. Vesak. All of them, all of them celebrate Vesak Day. You know, Vesak came from Sri Lanka. This is a very special word. It came from Sri Lanka. It is Sinhalese. And also all of them were under same flag. You know, same flag. Where it is made? It is made in Sri Lanka too. All of them gathered under same flag, same word. That is a very important thing. This flag is made in Sri Lanka. And this word is from Sri Lanka.
What does it mean?
It means, Vesaka means the month, the May month. The main, you know, we say that Buddha was born in May. The May month, we say that Vesako, Vaisakyo, Vesak. There are three words. This is the very close word that to Sinhala, Vesak. Vesak means the month, the May month.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in Sinhala. Yeah, May month. Yeah, Durutu, Nawam, Mading, Bak, Vesak. Vesak, you know. Durutu means January. Durutu. Nawam means February. Madin means March. Bak means April. Vesak means May in our language. Vesak means it is very prosperity. All things are together in the same period, like very nuts and all of properties. Yeah, very prosperous time. That is why it means. And however, I am going to explain you that according to history, there is a very clear history. When we study the Tibetan Buddhism, Chinese Buddhism, Korean Buddhism, Japanese Buddhism, we can see very clearly all of them are later. The tradition, there are two traditions in the world, Mahayana and Theravada. Theravada countries are Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Laos. Those are the Theravada tradition countries. And Mahayana countries are China, Korea, Japan, Tibet, Vietnam. Those are the Mahayana countries. Actually, according to history, the Mahayana tradition is later. There is a clear history. Then when we study, when we compare all traditions, we can see very clear history in Theravada Buddhism. It is very ancient.
Theravada?
Yeah, Theravada. However, in the present society, the well-educated people, they believe that what is the early Buddhism is. They are studying it. They know, they have discovered, they have done a lot of researches about both of them traditions. According to their researches, not only my opinion, a lot of it is mentioned, it is honored as early Buddhism by educated people in the world, not only common people. That is why it is we say that it is very ancient fact. The Theravada tradition that already practiced the people in Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, actually that is the ancient doctrines that Buddha says. However, in Mahayana tradition too, we can see these same traditions, but their practice way is different. Doctrines are same. Cause and effect, karmic force, impermanence, all things are same. The doctrines are same. The difference is that how they practice it. Some people believe that we have to become the enlightenment not only this, not in this birth, but after many years later, many period later. As Mahayana people, they believe that we will attain final bliss of liberation or Nibbana after a long period. But according to Theravada tradition, they believe that if you practice this message, we can get the enlightenment in this short life itself. That is the main difference. That is the main difference. As much as we practice this message, if we are intelligent, if we have awareness or mindfulness, we believe that we can get some sort of result in this life itself. That is the main difference among both of traditions.
How do you spell the other tradition?
Yeah, other tradition is Mahayana. Yeah. The Sangha means the third one. Okay? Okay.
How about the Buddha image? Because some places China has the Buddha.
Yeah, actually, according to their appearance, according to their tradition, they have changed Buddha's image. That is the difference. For example, when we look at a statue which is made in Sri Lanka, we can say very clearly the appearance is like a Sri Lankan person. Yeah. When we look at a statue which is made in China, mostly it is close to Chinese appearance. And also, they add some things from gods too at some times. But however, although it has some differences, mostly they have believe, they have some confidence about Buddha's appearance, like ears, like their head, some things are same. But however, I think nobody can image the real Buddha. But according to their tradition, according to their views, according to their beliefs, they have tried to build a Buddha's statue. That is the difference. Yeah. However, the next one is the Sangha. Sangha means noble disciples of the Buddha. Actually, if we have some sort of confidence, if we have confidence in enlightenment of Buddha, we will try to understand what his message is. If we have knowledge about his message, we are going to search the Buddha. If we meet a person who is an enlightened person, we try to understand his message. We try to understand the teacher who explained this message. That is very important thing. These three things are interrelated. Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha, these three things, which is the triple gem, are interrelated. Interrelated means, if a person look at Buddha, he tried to understand Buddha's message. When he listens the Buddha's message, then he tries to understand the persons who practice this message. If a person meets up Buddha's noble disciples, he or she tries to understand the message, what you practice. Through the message, he or she tries to understand Buddha. That is why these three things are interrelated. You know, for example, when the very special monk who is the main disciple of the Buddha, Sariputta. Sariputta met first time Buddha's disciple Assaji. You know, Sariputta met Assaji first time before he met Buddha. As soon as Sariputta met Assaji, Reverend Assaji, he asked, "You have a good discipline. Your appearance is very pleasant. What doctrines that you practice? Please say me. Who is your teacher?" Then again and again, Sariputta listening his message and his teacher. Then he went to find the teacher. That is the thing, that if we have some sort of confidence about these three things, it means we are ready to practice it. The main thing is the results are visible. Yeah, however, the second one is 5 precepts. As you know, it is very easy. And if we like to practice this message, first of all, we should have good discipline. Good discipline is very important to practice this message. If we have no discipline in our speech or behavior, actually it is very difficult to practice this message. That is why Buddha emphasized the importance of practicing 5 precepts. At least 5 precepts. If you practice these things, actually you are honored in the society. You are respected in the society. For example, if you don't steal, if you don't have sexual misconduct, if you don't tell lies, how about you? You are honored, you are respected. The people believe you because you don't tell lies, you don't have sexual misconduct, and also you don't steal. At least, if you have these 3 qualities, you are honored in the society a lot. At least these 3 things.
Are you saying 3 out of the 5 or?
Oh, actually 5 things are, all of them are important, but especially I emphasize that these 3 things. Special thing is according to Buddhism, telling truth is very important. Although we have other mistakes, the Lord Buddha has practiced speaking truth as his life. Although he lost his life, he never broke the telling truth. That is the very important thing. It depends on the honesty. That is very important thing. However, you can drink this water. It is cold for you, and now it is not cold. However, you can read the 5 precepts. It is easy. Now it is. Now we are going to have you any question you can ask. Why are you silent? Yeah. I don't know that you can understand what I say. Yeah. If I have mistakes, please correct me. I am ready to correct my mistakes. Actually, you know. Yeah.
When you say to be mindful, if there's a certain situation that you are in and somebody's getting angry at you or something like that, to be mindful of the situation and accept the fact that somebody's getting angry, even if you didn't do anything, you have to accept the fact that he's getting angry. You just accept it and you don't have any feeling towards that?
Actually, we have feelings. If somebody is angry, that is his problem, not our problem. If we are angry, that is the problem. We don't go to correct him or her. We protect our mind. We don't cover all over the world. We should wear our foot.
If somebody's doing something wrong, though.
Actually, at sometimes the first thing is the protecting our mind, own mind. If we can explain that person his own idea, we can do it. But main thing is, even though we can correct them, we should protect our mind. Our concentration depends on our mind, not his or her mind, other person's mind.
When somebody was insulting Lord Buddha, he said that he was listening to it, and then he said, what do you do if somebody gives you a gift and you don't accept it? That person has to take it back. So the same way that he didn't take it because he wasn't guilty of doing all this stuff.
Yeah, even though a person blamed the Buddha or Dhamma or Sangha, if you change your mind, if you are angry, Buddha says very clearly, you are not my disciple. Even a person blame the Buddha or his teachings or his disciples, if you are angry with that person, you are not my disciple. not my follower.
So there was no war to protect Buddhism. But nobody, that's the only religion that...
Yeah, actually it was no war in the world in the name of Buddhism, in the name of protecting Buddhism. It is a very important thing. It is a very innocent religion in the world. That's Buddha says very clearly. Especially, Empire Asoka, who was in India, he says very clearly, if you blame any other religion, it means you blame your own religion. You never blame or criticize other religions too. The Empire Asoka has written his ideas in the rock documents, rock scripts. However, now we are going to explain very special thing, the 3 levels in Buddhism. Actually, already we have described it in several times in this class. Now, however, in this moment also I am going to explain this thing, the 3 steps in Buddhism. What they are. The first level, according to Buddha's message, there are a lot of teachings in Buddhism about education. That is the first step. Education, economy, health and morality. This is the very surface level that as a beginner you should know, even though you believe karmic law and dependent origination or not. First thing is, as a successful person, you should fulfill these 4 steps as a person who wishes the success in this life. What they are? Education, economy, health and morality. If you have these 4 qualities, it means you are honored, you are respected in the society. And also it is very easy to live in this society if you have these 4 qualities. There are a lot of teachings in Buddhism. In many discourses in Buddhism, we can see a lot of teachings. How you fulfill, how you complete your education, how you earn money in the righteous way, how you get a good health, practice in good habits, and how you develop your morality or discipline or virtue. Then there are a lot of teachings in Buddhism. This is the very surface level. Actually, in this society, especially in the USA society, a lot of intelligent persons practice these 4 things, even though they didn't listen in Buddha's message. As the associating of their elders and their parents and their teachers, a lot of good people in the world, they believe, they practice these 4 things in the name of success in this life. If you have good education, if you have good GPA, it means you can go forward in the education. It is very easy to find a job too, if you are successful in education. Buddhism always says not only education. When you study something, you should have good knowledge how you do a service to the world through your job, through your education. That is very important thing. Not only having job, but while you are doing a job, if you can do a service to the world, actually you can catch both birds in same rock. I don't know how I say it. Sorry, I didn't know real words. Then, on the one way you earn money, on the other hand, you collect some meritorious deeds in your day-to-day life while you are doing a job. On the other hand, when you increase your money, when you spend money, you should spend money in the righteous way. If you don't earn money in the righteous way, although you are rich, you have no peace. That is why Buddhism encourages us to earn a lot of money, but in the righteous way. That is the limitation. Right? Yes, say. On the other hand, we should try to develop the wealth, health. Health is very important. Even though we are very rich or educated, if we are sick, actually all our wealth is useless. That is why we should have good health. For the health, actually according to Buddhism, we should have done a lot of meritorious deeds in our previous life. Actually, when we look at you, all of you are luckiest person. Because you have done a lot of meritorious deeds in your previous life. That is why you have this health. That is a good benefit in your life. You can be happy. Be happy about your life. And also not only health, but we should have morality or virtue or good discipline. If we have no good discipline in the society, even though we are rich, well educated, and good health, the persons who are in the society, they don't respect us because of misbehavior. That is why we should have good discipline when we associate the people in the world. These four things are very important. If you listen in Buddha's message, you can catch a lot of doctrines, lot of teachings about these four categories. This is the very surface, first level. Have you any questions?
No.
Okay.
I'm just taking it in.
Yeah. Actually, again and again we discuss this thing. But when we discuss again and again, we are going to deep.
Yeah.
We are not every day in the surface level.
Right.
Although we discuss the same topic, we are going to little by little in the deep. That's the difference.
It's all coming together now. Like, for example, when I take notes, it's like everything I capture and put on paper. But now when you put it like this, it makes sense.
Yeah, you can make sense.
So I see the surface level and then I see the deeper.
Yeah, you can see a difference.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, actually, little by little, actually, when I finish this class today, until next week, I think what I teach you and I prepare something again and again. Little by little, during a week, I prepare something as a handout. And the next step is the very important. Even though we are rich, we are well educated and good health and also morality or virtues, our happiness is not full. Why? We can see very clearly in the society people who had these qualities in their life, but end of their life they worry. They are unsatisfied. What is the reasons? What are the reasons? They have nothing to remind what they did as merit. That is the reason. End of our life, when you think your previous experience, you may have something to remind with the pure mind, with happy mind. That is why we have to fulfill another three things. It says in Buddhism, 3 meritorious deeds. It says in Buddha's words, Dhanamyam punya kiriyavattu, Silamayam punya kiriyavattu, Bhavanamyam punya kiriyavattu. It means Dana means practicing generosity. Sila means practicing virtue or morality. Bhavana means practicing meditation. While you are earning the previous qualities such as education, economy, those things, if you have practiced the meritorious deeds, then you are so happy. When you think your activities, if you have helped others, if you have helped your parents, homeless persons or noble persons, so then you can be happy when you think your activities, especially end of your life. Not only end of your life, but as soon as you fulfill these things, your mind is very pure and calm. It means you are happy. When you offer something to others who need that something, then when that person use that thing, when you look at that, you are so happy. Especially if you have done these things very hardly, it is so difficult, it is so remarkable. For example, when you are hungry, unless you eating something, if you offer that your diet for other person, then it can be remain for a long time because you did it very hardly. That is very important thing. However, if you have practiced generosity and morality, if you have good discipline in your speech and behavior, you have no mistakes. Nobody can blame you. Nobody can criticize you because of your good behavior. Then that is very important thing. Not only behavior, but if we have practiced our mind again and again in the correct way, as concentration meditation especially, if we have developed our loving kindness again and again in our mind as meditation, it means we have no anger, we have no hatred, we have no jealousy when other persons have success in their life. We are very friendly with them. When they have success in their life, we think as our own success. We have no difference. We always with the success of others because of practice in loving kindness. Especially as meditation in first level, you have to practice as much as you can the loving kind meditation. Mostly we lose our happiness because of anger. That is why in the name of peace in our mind, we have to practice loving kind meditation again and again. What is the maximum level of practice in loving kind meditation?
When you can look at another person as if they're your own.
Yeah. First we said that that is the highest result. But when we go to next level, we will change it. Now it is correct. Okay. You are correct. Now this level you are correct.
First level.
Yeah, second level. As meditation in the second level, generosity, discipline or morality and meditation, it is true. As soon as you look at a person, if you have an idea, that person as your only son or daughter, as practicing of loving kind meditation, then you have no problem. Actually, then I think that 50% problems are solved automatically if you have this idea about the world. Try to practice it. Try to get the results practicing this thing.
Practice that on the freeway.
Yeah, especially on the freeway.
You need to practice driving more. My thought,
And this second level, actually, if you have done a lot of meritorious deeds, it means you have earned happiness. Buddha says very clearly, as much as you practice these three meritorious deeds as generosity, morality and meditation, it means you have earned happiness in your mind. When you think your life, you should have a lot of things as meritorious deeds that you practice, generosity, morality or meditation. If you have nothing to remind as merits, it means negative ideas come to your mind. That is why always we should keep our mind with meritorious acts, meritorious deeds. That is very important thing. Not only this, actually this level is very, when we come to this level, we believe the karmic law. You may believe the next birth too. Whether you believe or not, it doesn't matter. But mostly the people who come to this level, they believe the samsaric journey. Not only this short life. He can see the previous life and he can see the future too. In belief, not only experience. Not only by experience. But according to these messages, you can have some sort of idea about the samsaric journey. We have not only this short life, we have previous period and we have future too. Then seeing these both ways, we practice this knowledge. Actually, we practice these meritorious deeds not only for the success of next birth, but you may receive the results in this life itself. That is the very special thing. The next one is the very important thing. Virtue, concentration and wisdom. This means three disciplines. First thing is the now. You can say the first step, the morality, the final level. And the second step, second level, virtue or morality in the second one. And now here, in the third level, the virtue or morality in the first level. That is the foundation. That is the foundation of your way, of your liberating way. Discipline is the very, very important thing. If you have no discipline, it means it is very difficult to concentrate your mind on particular object. That is why in the way of liberation or purification, at the very beginning, if we have good discipline, actually it is not only rules or regulations, it is a self-discipline. If we have this knowledge, we like to be happy. In the name of happiness, we try to control our attitude, our necessities. That is the difference thing. That is the very important thing. Here, virtue and also concentration, it means again and again we try to keep our mind using some sort of meditation object. We try to keep our mind in a particular object for a long time. For example, practicing loving kindness, practicing breathing meditation, focusing our sign of mindfulness. Again and again we practice concentration. As the result of practicing concentration, we can keep our mind with the same idea for a long time, without anger and desire. Here, when we come to this step, as soon as we look at the person, we don't think not only as our only son. Now we think, as soon as we look at the person, this person is not only physical body, but he has some mind too. With the combination of mind and body, this person is here. Then we have no anger. When I have anger, I think, am I angry with his body or mind? If I am angry with his body, when he died, I should hit him. If I am angry with your mind is invisible. I can't hit your mind. then I can understand why I am angry. Then as soon as in first level, Miss Monica, you say very clearly it is true. According to second level, as soon as we look at a person, we should have an ability to understand that person is our only son or daughter. According to second level, as meditation. But although you mention a person as your only son, the suffering is not finished. The suffering is not finished. When that person has problem, you worry. You worry. Your suffering is not finished. That is why we should have another level. Can you understand? That is why we should have another step. Now we are rich in mind. We are rich in understanding. Not only in second level, but now we are in the third level. As soon as we look at a person, we have an idea that that person is not only physical body, but he has a mind too. Then actually this is not the final step. Here this is the start. But later we think that although I look at a person in outside, the concept is inside. My concept is here. The problem is here. Then I'll try to change my attitude. When I look at a person, it means my eye, that body and light, my mind, all conditions are together. I have some sort of experience about the matter or person. When the conditions go away, the experience finishes. The experience ceases. That is the knowledge of impermanence. Impermanence means not changing. Anicca and Viparinama. In Buddha's language, there are two special words. Anicca means impermanence. Viparinama means changing. Understanding of changing is very, very easy. Understanding of changing is easy, but understanding of impermanence, according to Buddhism, is so difficult. When we look at something, when we hear something, when we smell something, through our senses, we have some sort of experience at the moment. At the moment. Our eye is alive when we have attention, when our mind is here. If my mind is not here, then my mind is not alive. My eye is not alive. My eye is like a dead. That is the Buddha's message. Even though I am still living, if I don't see something through my eye, then my eye is like a dead. This is very important thing. We can see the eye in dead body too. But this eye and that eye is physically same. But this eye is alive when it has mind, when it has attention. Even though you have attention, even though you have mind, if you don't see something, you have no experience through your eye. However, every time we have some sort of experience through our senses. We have 6 senses. We get an experience at one time by one sense. When we get an experience through one sense, the other 5 are dead. That is the thing. Even though we are living. This experience arises at the moment with the condition. However, we will describe this again and again. Now, we are explain all of them in short. We will analyze them again and again. However, now we are going to explain the very important thing, the ultimate goal of life. Ultimate goal of life is happiness. Happiness comes keeping mind away from all defilements, all attachments. As the result of seeing the world reality as impermanence, we can reduce the defilements and suffering. As soon as we see this reality, actually at that moment we are free from suffering. That is very important thing. The next one is as I mentioned before you, the best friend. Always we should try to live with this friend. If we lose this friend, it means we lost our happiness. Our happiness depends on mindfulness. Try to practice, try to develop your mindfulness or awareness. There are a lot of teachings in Buddhism how we develop mindfulness. The next one is the 5 spiritual faculties. Actually, all of them already we have explained. Again, I will explain you those things. However, I will explain these things to you in future. 5 spiritual faculties. Our success in our life depend on these 5 things. I have mentioned you before that as soon as the Lord Buddha meet a person, what does he see? That person. He sees, he reflects, he investigates these 5 things. How much that person have these 5 qualities. How much that person has practiced in his previous lives these 5 things. Actually, this is our real property. This is our real heritage. Our success or happiness depend on how much we have these 5 things. What they are? Confidence. Confidence means the belief in Buddha's enlightenment. And energy. Energy means the energy of getting rid of bad things and developing the good. We should have good energy to get rid of bad activities and develop the good. Yeah, Utsahaya, Udyogya, Unanduva, Virya. Virya. In Buddha's language, it means Virya. Virya means courage, energy.
Not being lazy, try to work.
Yeah, it means normally the people say that if a person works hard, that person is a courageable person. But Buddhism doesn't say it. And sometimes a person may sleep, but he is sleeping with mindfulness. Then he has no lazy. He is not lazy. If that person is sleeping with mindfulness, although he is sleeping, we don't say that that person is lazy, because he has mindfulness. There is some person who steals something, who goes very fast to steal something. We don't say that that person is the courageous person, because he has no mindfulness. Even though he works hard, he goes fast. It depends on what we do. What we do. What is our attitude? Can you understand what I say? Yeah. But however, if someone has energy, always that person try to develop his mindfulness. Always he try to develop his concentration. Always that person tries to develop his wisdom or intelligence. And also that person try to decrease his negative activities in his life. That is the nature of the energy. And next one is mindfulness. You know mindfulness. And concentration means focus in our mind particular object. And wisdom means panya. It means seeing the impermanence again and again. In your life, on a day, if you can increase the time that you remind about impermanence, actually according to Buddhism, that is the success of your life. How long that you can remind impermanence that arising and ceasing about your experience that you get through your senses. Actually, that is the success of your life. It means you are living without suffering. As much as you reflect this world reality as it is, as impermanence, it means you don't suffer. Even though other things change, you don't suffer. You have understanding. You know very well this situation arises at the moment and it ceases at the moment suddenly. But you fulfill your duties, your responsibilities in the name of your children, in the name of your husband. So whilst you do your duties, while you fulfilling your duties, on the other hand, you have correct understanding, correct view, correct vision. That is why you don't suffer when external things change. For example, if you have a good friend, that person may be changed. That person may be angry with you. That is the nature of our associate. It may be happen. But however, if we have this knowledge, we don't suffer when other things change. We are very strong with mindfulness. Nobody can change us. Nobody can give us suffering. That is why we are rich in mindfulness and wisdom. We should have not only mindfulness. With mindfulness, we should have good attention, good idea about wisdom, which is the knowledge of impermanence, arising and ceasing. And if you have developed these 5 spiritual faculties, it means you have practiced mindfulness, because all of 5 things are centered in mindfulness. Always mindfulness is the center. If you lost your mindfulness, you lost all your success. That is why it is very important. And day by day, not only day by day, by moment to moment, we try to develop these 5 things because of our real heritage. I mentioned you, as soon as the Lord Buddha met a person, he investigated that person according to these 5 things, how much that person has developed these qualities in his previous life. According to these 5 faculties, he tried to explain his teachings. He never saw that person is very beautiful person or very high caste person, very rich person. Buddha never mentioned. Buddha mentioned only these 5 faculties when he met a person. Because this is the reason what happens on our success. Next one is the highest knowledge that a person can gain to cease from suffering. At the very beginning, I explained you there are three things. What they are? Knowledge, reflecting, meditation. For those three things, what should we have? Mindfulness. Here it is said, what is the knowledge? What is the knowledge as an intelligent person that we accumulate, that we develop? According to Buddhism, in wisdom, there are two steps. The first step is in wisdom is knowledge of karmic force. It means if we do some bad deeds with the unpure mind, it means we will have the bad results because of our mind. If we do something with pure mind, because of our mind we will have the good results. Our results depend on what we think, what is our attitude. That is why Buddhism says that mind is forerunner. Mano kubbangama dhamma. Mano setta manomaya. Mind is chief. Mind is forerunner. Mind is chief. Our success depends on our attitude, not only our activities. For example, a doctor cut a person's body. What is his attitude? To treat that person. But there is another person that who is a robber or some bad person. That person also may do some same thing, but he does that thing in another way. That is why Buddhism says very clearly, when we see some activities, especially at sometimes their opinions, their attitude is invisible. If we are intelligent, we can understand why they do it. As human beings, we can understand. As intelligent persons, we can understand what a person, when a person behaves, we can understand what does he try to do. However, in the first level of knowledge is the understanding of karmic force. When we do some bad deeds with the unpure mind, we will have the bad results. And also if we do something with pure mind as the result of correct mind, we will have the good results. If a person has this knowledge, correctly, nobody likes to suffer, then nobody does the bad deeds. Because he knows very well, if he do something, they will have the bad results. That is why the person who has a good knowledge about karmic force does the good deeds, because he likes the fruitful results. This is the first level, but the knowledge of karmic force is not enough to get rid of all sufferings. Although you have done a lot of things, for example, if you offered all things that you have, and also if you jump to the place where a lion lives to offer your physical body with good mind, pure mind, you do all things with pure mind, but you will be reborn. You didn't finish your all sufferings. That is why Buddhism says another step. What is that? The dependent origination. Understanding of impermanence. While you are living, you can overcome all suffering in your life. This is the very special thing. All other religions explain their liberation or going to the God after death. But according to Buddhism, we get the liberation. We get the getting rid of suffering, not only hereafter, but living this life, living in this world. Before death, we can overcome, we can get rid of all sufferings that we suffer if we can practice this knowledge. That is why Buddha says us the very special thing, the dependent origination, understanding impermanence, understanding of arising and ceasing every moment. Enemies that we should get rid of, our enemies. Who are our enemies? Desire, hatred and delusion, or unwholesomeness. These are our real enemies. It means these bring us sadness. These steal our peace. That is why we mention these three things as enemies. As much as you can decrease these enemies, it means you have get rid of suffering, you have developed your inner happiness, real happiness. There are a lot of things to explain. However, other things we explain in short. Dhamma reflection, it means when you practice Buddha's message, you may think you can see in your life the results. Mostly the people, especially as Buddhists, we think we have success if we have done a lot of meritorious deeds such as offering dana for the Mahasangha, for the monk. If we have built a temple, some Buddhists mean that they have done a lot of, they are success. They are successful persons, they think. But according to real Buddhism, it is not the measurement of the success. Our success depends on how much that we have practiced these three things. What they are: loving kindness. Always we should live with loving kindness. And also honesty. That should be our physical organs. They should be not accept our life. We should live with these things. We should live with loving kindness. We should live with honesty. And also we should live with wisdom. Wisdom means one thing is see always the karmic force, and especially see the impermanence arising and ceasing. It means you are intelligent. It means you are living wisely. It means you live with wisdom. It means you live except suffering, without suffering. It means you live with happiness, real happiness. Even though you don't laugh a lot, you are living with happiness.
If you're honest to someone and it hurts them and you know that it hurts them, so you don't want to be honest, what do you do?
When we associate a person, if another person is not honest, that is a problem, you mean?
No. If somebody wants to know something and you don't want to tell them because you know it will make them upset, then what do you do?
Then we don't tell. We don't tell. Although we know it, we don't tell. Directly we can say, I am sorry, I can't say it. Directly we can say. If we can say directly, then we can say something in the another way. For example, there is a very special story in Sri Lanka. It was a very famous king in Sri Lanka, King Dhammagaru. He built the largest pagoda in the world in Sri Lanka. And when he was a child, one day he was quarreling with his brother. While he was fighting with his brother came to hit that person, King Dhammagaru. He came to the temple, Buddhist temple, and he hid under a bed of a monk, of a Buddhist monk in a room. Then that other brother, the King Dhammagaru's brother, came to search that person. But he didn't enter the room. He asked that monk, "Where is my brother?" Then that monk says that, "Your brother is not on the bed." Then that person understood that the reverend doesn't like to catch my brother, then I should go. He went back. Then, however, there are a lot of things. We don't tell lies. We don't tell lies. Even though we want to correct some people, Buddhism doesn't say that we should tell lies. Actually, we have to escape the telling lies. It is very important. However, at some times, for example, when we have some problems, when we associate some very bad people, when we are honest, at some times we can say truth. We should be. At sometimes we have to be silent, and sometimes we have to say directly, "I am sorry, I can't say." Yeah. Okay. Then the Four Noble Truth. That is very important thing. If a person has good idea, good knowledge about impermanence, that person understands what is suffering. Suffering means if you have no real idea of impermanence, then you have attachment, you have desire because of ignorance, because of delusion about impermanence. Then that is the first noble truth, the suffering. If you have no real knowledge about impermanence, you may have attachment, big attachment, you may face some problems. That is why it is said the first step of Four Noble Truth, the suffering. The cause of suffering. The cause of suffering means the very nearest cause. Here it is said the very nearest cause, that attachment. Every problem arises with attachment. The deep pin is all problems, attachment. At sometimes, some persons can be fight with other person, but when we search the final bottom, the bottom reason, then that is the attachment. But this is the nearest cause, but there is a very first cause too. What is the first cause? First cause is ignorance or delusion. If you have no delusion, you have no big attachment. The cessation of suffering means the cessation from attachment or ignorance. Next one is the way that leads to cessation of suffering, the Eightfold Path. From right understanding or right view, until right concentration, we have to practice 8 steps in 8-fold path. Little by little, we will describe those 8 things. And spirit nodule obeys the dependent origination. Always we describe the importance of dependent origination. And 5 aggregates also very important. If we look at something through our senses, if we have some sort of experience, it means the 5 aggregates arise together. As the result of arise in 5 aggregates, we can see something, we can hear something, we can smell something, but these 5 things are invisible. These 5 things are invisible. Never we can see these 5 things in the real world. Rupa means actually not only the material things. Rupa means there are 28 rupas in Buddhism. We know only the material things. This is only 4 things. Material things, elements. This is the very primary elements. Air, fire, earth, air, fire, water. Those are the very fundamental elements. It can be seen. But there are another 24 rupas, 24 matters according to Buddhism. For example, now we have some sort of this ability because of mind. The 4 things, these 4 fundamental elements can be alive except without mind. But this matter is never we can see without mind. When I have mind, we can see these activities. Not only this one, we can jump up. That is also some sort of nature of body. Now we are very flexible. When we die, we can do it because of no mind. These other 24 matters included with mind. Without mind, those 24 matters are invisible. There is a very big explanation about matter. Not only those physical things. The scientists explain only these things. It is very easy to explain. But Buddhism explains the matter in the deep level. And there are 28 matters. 24 are related to mind. 4 are not related to mind at some times. All of them are 28. 4 things are 4 elements, and 24 are with mind. All of them are 28.
Without the 24 things, there's no mind. The 24.
Please say again.
Without the 24 rupas, there's no mind.
Without mind, there is 24 rupas.
Without mind?
Without mind, there are no 24 matters.
There's no mind.
On the other way.
Yeah.
You should say other way.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, 24 are related to mind.
Sorry?
24 are related to mind.
Yeah, related to mind.
And then
If it is no mind, we can see these 24. These 24 matters depend on mind.
And the other 4
Other 4 can be, those are free. Those can be seen except mind. But with mind also we can see. Now this body, we can see the physical thing with mind. even though I have no mind, even though my mind goes away, you can see this body. You can see these 4 things, except mind. But you can see these 24 things, except mind, without mind. Even though I die, you can see my body. You may cry. But except my mind.
So which ones are invisible? The ones that are invisible, you said, are...
Which one?
4?
Which one?
4.
What did you say?
Which ones are invisible, you said?
These are invisible.
24 are invisible.
Yeah.
Okay.
These 4 things are visible.
Oh, okay.
Everywhere we see these 4 things. But these 24 are visible when the mind is. But although we can see the movings, we can't divide them. It is related to our body too. Yeah, it is a very big explanation about matter in Buddhism. It is a very interesting explanation. If you see it, you will be very interested. However, I think now time is goes fast. Especially finally, these 4 things, matter, feeling, perception, mental formation and consciousness, those are the 5 aggregates. And these 5 aggregates, we have to investigate again and again, arising, ceasing, enjoyment, bad results and liberation. According to these 5 things, we have to reflect again and again the 5 aggregates. When they arises, we have to reflect arising, now it arises. When they ceases, we have to reflect as ceasing. When they have some sort of good experience through our senses, we have to reflect the enjoyment. And when they remove, we can see that the people cry. That is the bad result. Adinava, Buddha's language, Adinava. Liberation means very important. If a person has this knowledge really, that person is ready to go away from this attachment.